31 and a half or 30 and a half?
30 and a half. That's how long I went without a drop of
Yikes.
alcohol.
You know what?
Finished today.
It doesn't matter. You did good.
Yeah.
You did good. You wanted to hold off on the drinking for a month. And a month could be construed as 28 days, 30 or 31. But you know what? The spirit of a month is 4 weeks.
Right.
So fuck them.
There you go.
I'm happy for you. You did it because you wanted to do it, and hats off to you for that.
Yeah. I wanted to break some habits.
You drank 2/3 of a bourbon bottle today.
Yep. I've been drinking since 12:01.
You've thrown up twice.
That was before you even got here.
And Jeff and I were taking turns giving you butt-loosed bourbon.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
So speaking of our bourbon, our first one was fantastic.
Oh, my God. Where's the fucking bottle?
And we knew it was.
This one
We don't even need it.
is a great disappointment because Paul found it on a best bourbons to buy or something like that, right?
You know, I think maybe it was underrated. Maybe it was like a list of kind of shit bourbons that were not that bad.
Shit bourbons? I don't think it was shit bourbons. I think it was probably bourbons that you may not be aware of. Right?
And that are economically. How much was this one? Do you remember?
$45, maybe
See,
$40.
I mean, that's not bad, but still, it should have been better.
So anyway, I found it. They finally had it's Green River, the pride of Owensboro, Kentucky, and this is the wheated bourbon.
Yeah.
Proof it's 90 proof, and it is not good.
It's not good.
I think it's pretty much a consensus with the four of us that we don't like it.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. Let me do another taste. Let's dig in here.
It's heartbreaking.
I mean, maybe you guys come back to this in a couple months and see if it got better.
Yeah.
But right now, just opened, freshly cracked. It is. It's rough.
I kind of have It kind of has a
nutty taste.
Kind of has
trail mix.
When I smell it, I kind of smell finger paint. You know that smell finger paint has?
God.
Oh, that is rough.
That is
your
definitely
assessment
rough.
right there is it smells like when I change the oil of my car.
Yeah.
And I've got oil all over my hands. It smells like that.
You know when you go in the bathroom and you take a dump?
Poor Green River.
A Green River Kentucky straight bourbon, legacy revived. It's the Green River Distilling Company, founded by McCulloch, J.W. Began as whiskey in 1885. Traveled the world to promote his brand. Green River promoted his brand in 1980. This stuff tastes like, it's.
Is it getting better?
I like it a hair better right this second.
A hair better. I do too.
It's some sweetness coming out with it now. That it's breathed.
Maybe
some.
it has to be a long breather.
I think that the
We
ethanol.
probably need to coin that.
I
long
think it
breather.
needs to off gas.
Right.
It may be the word.
Yeah, when we first opened it and poured it, there was a lot of ethanol coming off of it.
It was
But
definitely
now
a
that
dragon
it-
breath.
Now that it's breathed a little bit, it's got some spicy notes to it.
Some
A little-
aroma of cinnamon, dried cherry.
Okay. Well,
light
first
leather,
off, that's not the one we're drinking.
and finger paint.
Shut up, Paul.
No, it isn't. We're drinking the weeded one.
You know what?
We have the wheated.
Don't rain on this parade.
Yeah.
You know how hard it was for me to pull this up.
I know because
Go to our whiskey.
you
I'm
were
very
hoping
challenged.
to do the stone fruit, and it's not the stone fruit one.
You cock.
Wow.
Well, hold on. Where's it at now? Our whiskey. Pull it up there, and you got straight bourbon.
Yeah, I don't even
okay.
see I don't see the other one in there.
The weeded.
Where's the weeded?
I don't see it. Maybe it's a experimental bottle.
Maybe you need to sign up.
Maybe they got rid of it off of their website.
Yeah. They purged
Yeah,
it
they're
Due
like,
to-
yeah,
based on feedback.
this didn't turn out.
It's not horrible.
We got the last one.
All right, whatever. All right, so look, I am raising the bar from my earlier claim that this is shit because the ethanol smell or the it's
flavor.
off gas. It's released a little bit, and you can actually taste.
Yeah, some notes came out
Yeah,
for sure.
and it really it's a little sweeter. It's nuttier.
Right.
Um,
So the key is with this Green River, pour it and let it sit for about 5 minutes.
oh yeah, it's definitely different right now.
Yeah, it's a long
Or-
breather.
Or open it and then wait a couple weeks before you actually have it.
Well, that's the key. So if we try
Well-
this again in a month,
We're
2
gonna be like,
months,
this is amazing.
So
this is great.
one of
This is one of the best we've ever tried.
one of the gentlemen that we buy through Total Wine, his name is Stan, and Stan is a true advocate when it comes to popping the hymen on these bottles and letting them breathe for a couple minutes, and then put the cork back on. He says that exposure allows it to do another process of aging, so to speak, in a different way, because you release the off gas immediately, let it breathe a little bit, then cork it back up. Whatever. Maybe
Yeah.
this is one of these reasons. It did amazing job, just this much.
Maybe.
Tastes good.
It did. It made a difference.
Yeah. So
Still not my favorite.
yeah, it's probably a 5.5 to 6 for me.
Yeah, but it jumped up though. It was a 2 or 3 when
Yeah.
I first tasted it.
It
Now
was.
it's a 5 or 6. Honestly.
Yeah.
So do we venture and try the standard bourbon?
Well, we need a collection, so
Oh, Green River, the non
regular bourbon.
the regular.
Maybe the weed.
I would say sure. I mean, why not?
Maybe the weeded is what's.
maybe the barrel strength one. I'd probably prefer something a little bit.
Well, they
more
only had the
ballsy.
2. They had this one, and I got this one instead of the regular because we typically like weeded bourbons.
Yeah, I'm surprised. This is
So
anyway. It's
the
You know.
bottle's kind of unique. It's kind of like a horseshoe,
yeah, it is
flat on one side and round on the other. So,
not a bad bottle.
Yeah, it's a nice bottle.
I
Yeah.
think
Fits
the bottom
well.
is a horseshoe.
It's oh yeah, sure is. Look at that.
Oh,
There
There
you
you
go.
go. There you
God
go.
bless.
See, things are really coming together for this.
Well played, sir.
Yeah.
Well played.
But if you're at a friend's house and he pours you a glass of this, none of us would spit it out, right? I mean,
Well,
so,
we're
no,
sommeliers,
we run for-
so we may.
sommelier.
we're small, yes.
Well, I'm not. I just dumped some Coke in it.
Yeah. Well, if we
go
go
at it.
over, if we
Yeah.
if we go over and says, "Hey, I got some Green River," or I've
the
got some.
1920s. We're not allowed to put in
Old Soul.
amphetamines in our drinks.
What are you gonna
Well,
pick?
yeah.
Oh, give me the Green River.
Oh,
River.
I mean, yeah. If you're being given a choice between Old Soul and Green River,
Oh my God, they would slap you. You ever been slapped?
Or
And
Green
just kinda like
Green
hold it in your
River or
fucking
Maker's
earrings.
Mark.
Bang!
Green River or Maker's Mark.
Maker's Mark.
Take it back.
Yeah, I think so.
Like,
I don't
But
know.
but you
Like
know
the
what?
Russian
That's
slap
interesting
contest
you say that.
slap?
I don't think I've
Fuck
ever had
that.
Maker's
That stuff
Mark
is so
straight.
retarded. You know what's even more
We've got
retarded
Maker's Mark
than the
out
Russian
there.
slap?
Not the standard
is
Maker's Mark, though.
females
Yeah, I'm talking about the
oh,
standard.
I know.
Yeah.
that do it.
We have
I
two,
can't
we have two
stand
conversations
watching that
going on
shit.
right now.
And then they've brought it to these states. Yeah.
They have now. They got these slapping contests all over the place.
Retarded.
Did I
It's
send you? Did I
absolutely
send
crazy.
you the video of the guy flapping his dick, trying to pump himself up for the next lift? Did I send that to you, or did I send that to?
I'm sorry. Go
Right.
on. What was
Wait,
that?
did you say
If you- if-
slapping his dick?
That's
Like he
what
took
I
his
heard.
penis out and was slapping it.
No, he was in like a bikini, and he was psyching himself up to do a sumo lift or something like that. And I'll send it to you.
No,
He's
no,
not
no,
nude.
no, you
anyway.
won't.
We're good. We're good.
Yeah, there's no reason.
You sent
Yeah,
so
okay.
many things
Oh.
that when we open them,
Oh my God,
we have to be patient. and-
Sean,
what?
stop talking. You sent me one of 8 women in dresses. Oh God, you sent me one of women standing on a stage in dresses, touching themselves and singing.
Dude, that is wrong.
That is nuts bongo.
Yeah, that's
He's
like
just-
the opposite of the butt bongos from the
But why? Why?
Howard Stern show.
Why?
Yeah, but why do you look at it and then send it to people?
Because
So
There's something
the
wrong
sometimes
with
it's
that.
one of those things like, damn, I saw that. Someone
So,
else
yeah,
has
I need to.
suffer
I need to
through
torture
it.
others.
well, I sent you
Well,
a,
that is apparently Sean's motto.
a video
Yes.
of women. There was a chorus line. It was like basically like 8 women in a
It was
in a
unbelievable.
semicircle, and they were all
Doing
acting
opera.
like they're masturbating.
Yeah,
But it was
they're touching them. They were touching themselves.
They're
through their
feminists
dress.
mocking men masturbating. So they were mocking men masturbating. They weren't touching themselves. They were pretending there was a penis.
Oh,
And they were like,
You completely missed the spirit of the.
yeah. You
Oh,
have
oh,
to
well, I
really-
want to
going
watch
on?
it again.
You have to
man.
really zoom in and look.
Yeah,
Oh.
way to not analyze the video that he's sending you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
way to
Even
go.
though I mean,
In Paul's defense, there have been some sketchy videos, but you know what?
have been.
Well, what's bad?
I think Jeff is far worse than I
no.
am.
What's bad is Sean will
What do you
send
mean? You just
something.
dismissed it right away. No, you are far worse. You said
Sean
some
will
really-
send something, and then you get stuck in it. You're like, oh god, that's a bad one. I need to send it.
If
And I
it-
catch myself like, I got to get out of this.
if it makes you feel better, you're both horrible retards
Wow,
when it
check
comes
this
to.
out. We have a guest.
Oh. Well, hello.
Oh, my wife won an award tonight.
Oh.
No way.
Yes.
Let me see.
Was it she best dressed?
All right, well, let me read this. Active Member of the Year, Julie, 22 to 23. Very nice.
Oh,
can't say
I'm
that?
sorry. What was that? You said last names?
Uh,
What is
uh,
wrong with you? She's been drinking.
Very nice.
Very nice. Congratulations.
Was it Green River?
They had mint juleps.
Mint tulips
Well, that's
because of the
outstanding.
Kentucky Derby. All right.
There you go.
Ah.
Oh,
Active
little
member
smack
of the
there,
year.
man.
Yeah, thanks for sharing.
She did
If
that
you were-
smack
All
with
right, well,
authority.
we had a brief special guest, a very, very good friend
Yes.
of Jeff's wife, and Andrea, and she presented the award that she won tonight. That's outstanding.
Yeah, it was very nice.
Pretty sure if you were standing, you would have got good gamed over the table.
Yeah,
Could be.
That was pretty powerful.
that was a powerful congratulations.
Hips got put into that.
Congratulatory slap.
Yes.
All right.
What the summer frock she had on.
The summer frock. It was just a dress, wasn't
It
it?
was a colorful dress, yeah. Very summery.
Very illuminating.
All right.
Anywho, so we
I
got
got
the
derailed.
Green River, and
Yes.
you know what?
That ran its course.
It's actually getting better and better. I kind of like it, and Jeff does send the worst videos. And,
Oh, that's right. We were talking about it.
yeah. So Jeff sends the
No,
worst.
I leave that to
I
Sean
hands down.
because he
No,
sends big
stop.
whales,
Oh, big
No.
difference.
pool.
No, Jeff, look, stop. You send the
Thank you,
worst.
Wes.
Period.
No.
There is.
You find these racist things and say, here, send us to your Asian friend.
Oh, yeah, totally appropriate.
Well, that was crazy. I cannot believe. I've never seen that before. Of course, Sushi
No.
responded
Oh,
with some
God.
other stuff. I thought that was kind of crazy. Let's see if I can.
You guys are a train wreck. You do not need to play this right now.
play what?
What you're looking for and
that
what
lady,
you're wanting to
that
play.
lady singing.
Yo, what the hell was that?
I don't know.
And she got in that Asian woman's face.
I know.
Maybe I too could be ninja. I want to be ninja.
This is a woman that was singing in front of people.
I want to chop, 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 chow down. Take
She gets into this Asian lady's face right here.
She's like a blonde.
Yes.
I gonna chop, chop.
I don't know what that's from.
I don't know, but it was very cringeworthy.
Yes. And she was proud. She was like,
Oh. The signage under the post was, "I'm uncomfortable."
watching this.
Oh, God. Yeah, it was
Well,
bad.
speaking of, because she was like, I want to be ninja. Have you ever seen the West Virginia Ninja?
Oh, no.
No, West Virginia Ninja. Is that the guy's like, "What's up, my ninja"? One of those guys.
My God, this is
Oh, no.
classic.
Obviously, this is Dudes Like Us. Second half. It's May 9th. We're back again with the Green River. We've already talked about that in the short videos. Dudes Like Us. I'm Sean.
I'm Paul.
And I'm Jeff.
And we have special guest all the way from Las Vegas.
Chad.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Thanks.
great.
It's very anticlimactical. man.
Yeah, what do you want?
The enthusiasm is overwhelming.
Speaking
Yeah.
of, I will be in Las Vegas this weekend.
You will.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, what are you gonna be
Outstanding.
doing?
Where are you
Yeah.
staying?
The Bellagio.
Sweet.
Yeah.
God, this must be a tier 1 thing.
It's my son. It's his birthday.
There you go.
And
Bellagio is supposed to be a nice hotel. I mean, now they're.
and
I mean,
It's
they're,
old.
they're all. Yeah, you were saying that. We were having a conversation about how the Oakland Athletics are moving to Vegas,
They are.
and
Yeah.
they're going to bulldoze the Rio.
Yep, tearing down the Rio. That's
and I
where they're
thought,
going
to
to put the
me,
stadium.
I would have told you that the Rio and the Bellagio are some of the newer ones on the strip. I mean, and apparently Rio is not even on the strip. That tells you how much I know about Vegas.
Yeah, Rio's the
That's
old downtown, right?
No, it's off strip. So it's
Oh, is it?
it's off of Tropicana, I think it is, but it's west of the strip.
But look at Vegas
So
making,
same as
making a
Palms.
sports move, man. So they stole the Raiders. Now they're stealing the Athletics from
Yeah.
Oakland.
What is this MSG sphere that's going on out there? It's the largest circular building in the world or something like that.
Yeah,
Hmm.
so I mean, it's just like a giant Epcot-looking building, but they did
Well, you too.
the entire outside of it is screens.
Oh, really?
Is it a casino? What is it?
It's
an
well,
office building?
U2. It's a concert venue, I believe.
Oh, okay.
And U2 is opening the place up here by the end of the month.
Okay, so it's a gigantic sphere,
Yeah.
and you're saying everything is screens on the
Yeah,
outside.
it was supposed to all be screens, and I don't know if it's on the
Oh, you mean like TV
ins-
screens?
yeah.
Oh,
So it's going to look like the moon.
I was like, it's a giant.
So-
Like the Epcot Center, perhaps.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, but
so
the
it's
Epcot
supposed to
doesn't
be
have
able to project
cameras.
whatever.
Yeah.
oh my god, that
Well,
would be amazing.
it's a big bowl. It's a big sphere, like you said.
They say it's the largest in the world.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting watching them build it for sure.
Is it turned on yet?
I have so I don't go down there very often.
Okay.
That
so
is
I have not
fantastic,
seen-
though. When you look at the pictures of this thing, very
Look at
impressive.
the construction. It seems very simple, though. And I'll tell you what, I bet it's tornado safe because of the way it's shaped.
Do you have tornadoes in Vegas?
because of all the tornadoes we have.
Well, dust storms.
Oh, yeah. To be fair, I mean we do have.
Oh, it's been a
Yeah.
long time since we did that.
There you go. That's awesome. Yeah. We do get 80-mile-an-hour winds, which are just under, I guess, tornado status. But
85 is strong enough to rip off roof shingles and all kinds of other stuff.
What about sphere shingles?
I don't know if they
I don't
have
think those are
shingles.
shingles.
Yeah, what about
But it was everything is
Sphere
triangular when
TVs.
they built it.
Sphere
Everything was what?
plasmas.
Triangular. So
interesting.
it's all triangles making up the sphere.
That's the way.
Well,
That's the way
triangles-
Epcot Center is as well. All those are triangles.
because it's a dodecahedron.
Close.
Shut the fuck
What
up.
the hell did you just call me?
Well, you probably know. You probably know the name of the structure that has a million circles that makes it a sphere. Is a dodecahedron.
All right, so there are a lot of triangles, and and are they isosceles triangles? Or
Oh my
they-
god,
They're obtuse.
I don't think they're obtuse.
they're acute.
I think they're ugly.
Terrible.
So
All
anyway,
right,
where is that?
I
Like,
wanna-
is that
I wanna
down there by
back up,
Circus?
And
Or
I want to
No.
finalize this Green River because I know I pound the fuck out of it, but I'm going to pound it again. I'm dropping whatever I rated it down to a 3. All right,
You're going down now.
I'm going down.
My last pull on it was actually good.
No, my last pull on it, I'm kind of like, dude, this tastes like it's just not good.
I'm still at about a 5.
It's not bad. Anyway, I know we covered that. It's going all over the place. It's very interesting. I don't think we've had that experience before,
Yeah.
where we're fluctuating on whether, like, not whether we like it or not, because I think the consensus is it's just very
it's
average.
now syrupy to me.
It's just changing on us.
Yeah. I would not buy that again. Will I
No.
try the bourbon? Yes.
Yeah, we'll try the.
I would not buy that
sure,
again.
Sure. Yeah, I'm with
Very
you.
simple. So this
Well, I'm
MSG
excited
building.
to see what this thing looks like when it's lit up.
But what are they going to do in there? Are they going to have like live performances?
Yeah, it's
Yes.
a concert venue.
A
Yeah.
concert venue. So are people outside going to be able to see what's going on the inside just by staring at the sphere?
I honestly don't know. Yeah, I'm the worst Las Vegas.
So when is it
representative
going
you
to
can
be
have.
open?
The end of the month. U2, I said that. U2 is open it up with a concert by the end of the month.
But
You
yeah,
too.
It's down South Strip. So the Ferris wheel in the back, that's Circa there. So it's basically like where the new stadium is. It's across
By
the street
Excalibur?
a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It's on the other side, the east side of the strip.
So is U2 really still relevant?
Yeah.
Evidently, they just had a concert in Vegas, and there was several people that were just jumping all over tickets, but they were ridiculously priced.
Yeah, they're still.
I just would think the younger generation is like it's too far removed from the younger generation.
it's
now.
not the younger generation. It's us.
Well, I get it, but
No.
They're
'Cause
still
we're the ones who
releasing
can afford it.
albums.
I mean, but 20 and 30-year-olds are still going to concerts, right?
They're still somehow releasing albums. Not that they're any good. I'm like, okay, that's one of the arguments I was making when they were like,
Holy shit! Look at the price of these.
Oh, that's fucking bullshit.
Oh, my.
$5,000
All right,
for
well,
a
well,
fucking seat.
Let's look at the nosebleeds. The nosebleeds are around $600-700.
Get the fuck out of
How
here.
much for 106?
that doesn't even show that
All right,
you're.
so the front row is just as much as the second row.
That's crazy.
Jeez.
That's ridiculous.
How much is a general admission?
Those are
standing room
$2,200.
only?
Yeah, that's going to be standing room. Yeah.
Yeah. So, $2,500.
Oh, that's 2 tickets.
That's true, but
No, it
still.
says each.
Yeah, it does say each. And here,
Holy shit.
2 tickets are 22. So, man, look, if you are a hardcore U2 fan,
No.
No,
Then-
no way.
well, you know what? How much did you drop on one of the playoff games to go watch your gay team? What is it? The Tennessee Titans?
I wouldn't have done that either.
I think they were $2,500 a piece.
Well,
I'm kidding.
That's
God,
like
no.
Super Bowl ticket prices.
There's no way I would do that.
well,
I
spent.
think it was like $120.
Oh well, I spent a lot of money on my playoff tickets for the first round against San Francisco for the Dallas Cowboys for Preston and I to go. It was a ridiculous amount. I don't remember how much they were, but it was a ridiculous amount of money.
Yeah, there's definitely a threshold where I'm like, I don't care.
I want to say it was close to $3,500.
Yeah, no way. No way would I do that.
I will watch that on TV all day.
Absolutely.
Well, it was for the experience, and you don't do it very often. I had a bonus come in. All kinds of shit was going on. And
Did you go to an awesome stadium at least?
we went to the Arlington Stadium.
Yeah,
I believe, right?
AT&T. Yeah, it's nice. It's
Yeah,
nice.
it was nice. Drinks. I mean, I think I spent an additional $300-400 while I was there.
Yeah.
Just because
How was the after the game environment?
the environment was fine. The people that shit happens, man. My brother-in-law was with me and his son. And when back then, when Wes would start drinking, he'd get a little volatile. And his son is a chip off the old block. And God bless it, man. We started.
They were wanting to fight everybody.
Oh
right?
my God! It wasn't just them. Okay, it was
Everybody was angry.
It was a tribal thing between two teams, and we're walking down, and everyone's upset
Well,
because
that's
the
what-
Dallas
'cause it-
Cowboys lost.
That's what you guys
That's
ran out
what
of time.
they ran out of time, and they ran up into Dak ran into his butt, and it was just a terrible ending to the game.
Yeah, because he started scrambling and took too much time scrambling.
Well, no, the ref had to
The
lay the ball
whole
down.
game was a train wreck. It was just a comedy of errors on our behalf. And it was just like, are you kidding me? So when the game ended, we were leaving and we're looking, not me, the people that are upset are looking for a reason to get all upset with the
49er fan.
Yeah. So it was just constant. Like I was like playing bouncer the whole time. Just, it was just like this isn't what I signed up for.
No.
Talk about making you feel like you wasted your money, right? I mean, at that point, you're killing the experience.
That's the way it ended. And I was disappointed
not cool.
from that perspective. I had a good time all the way up to that, and I didn't care about the money because I even stood in line and I even bought like tequila shots, and I spent a ridiculous amount of money for little tiny shots they give you. And I'm like, really? I just dropped $40 on a double tequila. Load that motherfucker up for me. Come on, man. Help a honky out.
Did you really say that?
I probably did. Dude, you're talking to Sean. Do you think I really said that?
And
Of course I said
they
that.
just looked at you and they were like, next.
Well, that's why. Well, they poured a single. That's why I got a double. Because they poured it, and I was like, what is this?
Right.
Not even like an ounce.
Well, look at that. Those $3,600 ones sold 2 hours ago.
That's
Someone just
insane.
spent $7,200.
Well, there
That's
are people
Vegas
out
in a
there
nutshell.
that
That
really
is insane.
that enjoy the U2. I like U2. I mean, I won't go to their concerts. I mean, I won't even buy their albums anymore but back in the 80s
I like
when the
U2.
Joshua Tree was out there, that was a great album.
It
I
was.
enjoyed it.
Absolutely.
The reality is, guys, there's so many people with tons of money, and this is an excuse for them to fly into Vegas for the weekend, blow 20 grand on,
Yeah, this is chump changed for a lot of
chump
people.
change for a lot of people.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah, if you
ton-
can do
I-
it, go
And
for
we
it.
appreciate it.
Yeah, if you can do it, all in.
Absolutely. I get it. I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
But the structure itself, the sphere,
Very impressive.
Yeah, it's
I wonder.
cool looking.
Well, when we're out there this weekend, I'm curious. That's why I asked, because if it's turned on the outside, it'll be interesting to see.
Very.
Yeah, so it's just south of the Top Golf that they have down
I
there.
don't know where that's at. I know the
Oh, okay.
Excalibur on one end, and then you got the big tower. Is it Circus? The tower at the other end.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. So now they have it's kind of It's funny.
See, I don't
So,
recognize any of that.
So
Sir-
we're looking at a picture of downtown, or we'll look at a picture of Vegas, and they've got like
that
the big
Ferris wheel was not there last time I was there.
What was the
Yeah,
what's the
so
Ferris
this
wheel?
is Circa.
Circa is the Ferris wheel.
Yeah.
So
where is
you see this large,
Excalibur?
large orb coming out of the earth that looks like
It does.
it looks magical.
Excalibur is going to be down this way. So,
Okay.
because love, that's Caesar's.
Is that a
right?
simulated picture, or is that actually with the sphere turned on?
No, that's a simulated.
Okay, I
Yeah.
figured.
And then, so then you have the Palazzo, and then you have what's resort. Those are the wind towers
The
right
Wind
there.
Towers, right.
And so what they're not showing you is like where Circus is, which is the biggest shithole where you feel like you need to wear like a bulletproof vest
Right.
and be carrying
Or a
you know,
hazmat suit.
It's
Right.
it's ridiculous. And then right
Sticky and
there,
gross.
they now have the Resort World by Hilton, and it's a beautiful new tower that looks like the wind towers, and it's right there. And downtown, right there, it's such a shithole. It just
Is that
really
where they
is.
have the covered walkway?
no
that thing's kind of
no.
cool.
That's old downtown Las Vegas,
Okay.
right? So that's where Fremont Street and everything is.
Yes. Yes.
So-
I've never been to Vegas.
The Golden Nugget.
I've
This-
never been invited.
There's
Huh.
two different areas,
Jeff
right?
and I have gone a ton of times
Yeah.
together.
Oh, wow.
So this is Strip, right? And then the other up northeast of this is where downtown is, where all of the old Vegas is. But I mean, we call it old Vegas now, but all of this is where they basically imploded all of the original buildings and built new resorts.
Right. Right.
Where's the Bellagio in relation to this? No, I think it's that one there. Yeah. Okay. All right. I know where I'm at then.
Yeah. So
That's nice.
There's Paris.
because I think Love is actually on the
Okay.
Mirage, but I'm not sure.
All right. It's been several years. Last time I went out there is we were visiting my dad, and we flew into Vegas, and we drove up to Tahoe. It's about an 8-hour drive through that desert, right? And
Yeah.
Brandon, my oldest, was I think 14 or 15. Youngest was 12, 13. And they really enjoyed walking down the strip, seeing all the street performers, the ladies with their boobs hanging out.
Oh, yeah.
Take a picture with me. Oh, yeah.
Don't forget the little cards of all the topless strippers.
Oh, yeah. They love that, too.
All the
because
flippers.
these
Yeah.
guys were handing that stuff out. And Brandon looked at it. I was like, here, let me have that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know?
It's awful.
What was it? They're passing out like business cards.
No, like,
No, it's to all the different clubs.
although that and
But they're like
Escorts.
topless women.
yeah,
So
the escorts.
It's like cards for escort services and stuff like that.
Do they have
So-
like a menu on there that you could just like, hey, look, I want this, this, that.
Well, and then they do have different ones that'll take you to the bunny ranch, so that you can go. Legally?
The Bunny Ranch, I'm assuming, is the Playboy Mansion or
no,
something.
No,
like
no,
that?
no.
It's
So
a whorehouse.
Yeah. So
it's a famous whorehouse.
Correct.
out in Pahrump, it's just outside the city limits. It's legal prostitution.
There was a TV show.
I thought it was legal everywhere in
No.
no.
Nevada.
There
No.
was a TV show
Really?
on HBO or the movie channel or something out there about the Bunny Ranch.
Yeah.
And it was about, I don't know if they showed the sex or anything, but
But yeah, they have
met the
no
hookers
kidding.
and all that stuff.
They have no kidding porn stars that work there.
All right, the Moonlight Bunny Ranch, illegal licensed brothel in Mound House, Nevada.
Yeah, it's owned by some bald dude. Dennis Hoff.
Yeah.
He ran for governor or something, didn't he?
Yeah, he ran for office down there just because he
Yeah.
wanted to try to get everything legalized there. But
Yeah.
So you
Uh,
see how far it is because Vegas is way down towards the point down there, and you see how far that is. So
Oh,
it's a
it
pretty
is.
good drive.
Oh, that's
That
up
is.
there by.
It's a long way
Tahoe.
to drive for a boner.
Oh, is that just zoomed in? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's with that little lake there.
Yeah, that is a ways away, man.
Yeah, I mean it's got to be outside the city limits.
Yeah,
So,
I get that.
Right.
But yeah,
How gross.
they have that whole thing.
Yeah, it is kind of gross.
And it's not a nice. You look at it. It looks like
Yeah, it looks dumpy.
yeah. It's not a nice looking place. You walk. And again, on the show, they have
Look
cameras
at
in
prison.
there and everything. It kind of does.
I bet they videotape you and everything. Probably use it if you ever become, popular. Kind of like one
Based
of those.
off of that TV show, I would say they absolutely.
Yeah, because they did have some
Videotape
cameras in the
everything.
rooms.
Yeah, all over the room, not just in the corner
Yeah.
randomly. It
Forget
was like
that.
different
No way.
perspectives.
That's
I
true.
can't imagine like sitting there thinking everything's private, and all of a sudden you're getting your puppy wet, and it's filmed all over the planet. Forget
Yeah,
that.
who knows?
Yeah.
So, do you have any plans on what you're going to do down there?
I am just going. I'm going. Part of it is also my son's. His girlfriend is graduating from college,
Nice.
and part of it is that plus his 21st birthday. So we're flying out there with her parents and us, my wife and my son and myself, and I'm letting the ladies plan everything.
Very good.
So I'm just going for the.
Yeah, because you're not much of a gambler. Right?
No, I don't gamble really at all.
Right. So
I probably will a little bit out there,
you guys going to go
slots, but I won't do.
maybe some shows, maybe?
So, stay away.
Yeah.
Stay
you-
away
you-
from
you're
quarter
waiting to
slots.
hear. Okay.
Well, stay away from what?
Quarter slots. Go to penny slots.
penny slots.
And you can bet up to higher denominations, but you will win way more money than you will if you go to $quarter or the $4.
Really?
slots.
I didn't know that.
So you bet like 100 pennies at a time.
Even more than that. So you can bet up to like $25 a hand, right? And just because they're a mess, right? They're usually like 5 or 6 high and
With
the
all these
same
lines
wide.
Yeah,
going
it's like
and
a
it's
giant
like all,
matrix. Yeah.
yeah, and it's nuts. And you're just like, oh, hopefully crap happens, right? But all of the people that regularly gamble that aren't playing tables, right? That I know that win. I have a guy that's
It's like professional gamblers. Yeah.
No. Guys
Oh,
that do
okay.
this part time. So, one of the guys that I work with, he literally went up a tax bracket because he was winning so much playing quarters, the penny slots, right? He was
Right.
betting high amounts,
Yes.
and he was going
Meaning
in there.
covering every line on the board.
He was going in there with like $500,
Right.
and he was just like, okay. But he was walking out, and he would hit like 10 grand, 12 grand, and stuff like that. And that's the type of stuff. But it just depends. I mean, yes, it's luck, and yeah, he gave a bunch back. But the fact of the matter
The
is
big
that
wins. Yeah.
he was gambling enough and winning enough on penny slots
Right.
that he went up a tax bracket.
For the people who are professional gamblers, I've been told they can make an average of like 60 to 65,000 a year.
Well, yeah, I mean,
That's
it's
all they do, though.
nuts. You should see the
All
slot
day long.
tournaments.
That didn't seem like a lot.
Slot
I mean,
tournaments.
well, I mean, if you're not working, all you're doing is gambling all day long, every day. I mean, and you make 65,000 a year. I mean, that's a lot more than a.
That's not a guaranteed income, though.
No, but I mean, if they,
If you average 65 grand a year, you win 131 year and nothing the next.
I don't know.
Do
I
they
don't know.
tax that
I don't
right
know
away?
if it's a pretty solid average or
Do
not.
they tax that right away? So, I mean,
Yeah.
when you get your money, it's already taxed, so you don't have to worry about reporting it
Well-
to the IRS.
I shouldn't say that they tax it right away. They make you fill out a tax form immediately.
It is reported, but not taken from it.
So, how do they confirm that you filled it out correctly?
If you get audited,
Well, no. So as soon as you win, before you can actually take your money, they hand you.
it's a
that
threshold,
form.
though, right?
Yes.
What's the threshold? Because I could win $200.
I guess
and then it's not
$599.
$600.
No,
Yeah.
I think it's more than that.
There's a threshold because I won $600 out there on a and I didn't have to
But
fill
things have
anything
made
out.
have changed now. Yeah.
So this was
Yeah.
before Brandon was born, so 24 years ago.
Well, then it would have been 10 grand, right? So
Right.
that would have been the threshold if you won that. Now I'm not so sure. I don't know if it's like
don't know if it
$700 or $600 now or what. So
Right.
I
Yeah, I know
I
there is
never
a
win.
threshold.
I never win shit. So
Do you play
Yeah.
the penny
You and me
slots?
both.
it's odd. So both me and my dad, we have the worst luck, and we know that it's just giving money away. There's
That's the way I look at
zero
it. I
chance.
see it as entertainment funds.
Yes.
I have $100, and if it's gone in 2 minutes, it's gone. If it lasts me 3 hours, then that's
Great.
what it is.
Yeah.
Right. So that's
Yep,
that's
you're
how,
right.
that's how I
It
look
is
at
a
it.
ticket for entertainment.
And then
You have to look at it that
way. Julie will have $100. I'll have $100, and that's our entertainment for the night or whatever. Right.
Right. Yeah. Because otherwise, you every time you give them another 20 because you're down,
Yep.
you're stressing out. I mean, how's that fun?
No. So if both of us are gone quick, we're like, all right, then we'll walk around at that point, or
Right.
go watch TV,
And then
or-
go have $17 drinks that are an ounce.
Well, so that's what I consider it anyway, right? So when
Right.
you put $20 in the machine and they give you a drink, I'm just like, well, there's a $20 drink.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah,
Yeah.
but maybe they've gotten better. But the last time I went, that's what they say all the time. Oh, the food is cheap and you get free drinks and
Food's not cheap
okay.
anymore.
First off, the food is not cheap, and they never came around.
So you could still find cheap, especially like breakfast. Like if you want that $8 steak and eggs,
Right.
you can still find that, right? And then
Probably in Fremont, right? Like down there.
no, so where the old Hard Rock used to be, just up the street, was it Staten Island, something like that.
I'm sorry, you said hard what?
Hard Rock.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Wiener.
I think it's no, Ellis Island is what it's called. And we would always go pregame before we went to concerts at the Hard Rock. So we would go there, and dude, it was $3.50 for 20-ounce beers,
Nice.
Damn.
right? And then so you would just sit there, and we would pregame before we went to the concert,
Yeah.
and we're paying $15 for a little solo cup
Oh yeah.
of beer, not a 20-ounce solo cup, the little solo cups.
Right.
Yeah. So that place is great, but it is, you walk into there and it's like thick with smoke. It's one of the few
Yeah.
places that you
Oh,
could still,
get that.
where you're like cutting the smoke as you go in. But yeah,
Yeah,
it's
forget
still,
that. I would just I would just pregame like outside. I'd carry a
We'll just bring in your own
Bladder.
flask
well, I
or
mean,
your minis.
are you allowed to walk around with alcohol?
Your dune bodysuit.
So yes and no. It depends on where you're at.
I think on the
right?
strip you can, right?
Yes,
Because
and,
I've seen again, this was 10 years ago. There was a bunch of people walking up and down with these huge yards of booze.
from Fat Tuesdays.
Yeah.
So it's when it's plastic, it's okay. When you're carrying around glass, not okay. Right. So if you have a beer bottle,
Well, what if you have a beer can?
probably okay. I don't know if they're going to hustle you or not. So again, it's probably going to depend on the cop and what you're doing.
So I
right?
just need to go buy one of those extremely large yards that they sell at Fat Tuesdays.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
just fill it up with my own beverage.
There you
Good,
go.
yeah. Then walk around.
Yeah. I'd like a yard of water, please.
Or bourbon Coke. I told Shelly the story about when you went to Nacogdoches and it was any drink pitchers.
For $5.
I know, and you did a bourbon and Coke, a Jack and Coke in a pitcher.
And each
Yeah.
one of us had one.
Yeah.
Each one of you?
Yes.
Oh,
we had
Paul,
multiples, I think.
we were blown up. And she was like, yeah, the challenge isn't like getting the booze for how much? $5?
It was $5.
$5. The challenge isn't the drink. The challenge is finding a pitcher.
And you sit and you went over and grabbed some pitchers
I
that
just
were.
went-
Show was like, "Grrr."
I just like,
Boom.
Challenge accepted.
yeah. I saw one. I was like, hey guys, thanks. And I went over there. They cleaned it out. Fucking dude, when she filled it out,
Well, yeah, you said you just glug glug glug
no,
glug
no.
glug.
She took the bottle, Jack Daniels, took the pourer off, spun it so it creates that little whirlwind, and filled the pitcher up. And then added a little glug 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 of maybe not all the way up, but she was swigging. I mean, it was a shitload of bourbon in there because we were blown up.
Yeah.
I don't
We
even.
almost got in a fight, if you remember that.
I-
Because Brandon and
Oh.
had those two girls there.
Hmm.
And then the group that.
No, they were going to fight me. I wasn't fighting.
Well, the thing is, the group
There's a
that
difference.
he got in a bar
There is a
fight with
difference.
showed up. And he's like, yeah, those are the guys we got in a bar fight with. And we were just like,
Ooh, I do remember that. Oh, we got all sausage.
Where's
We were
he
like,
at, son? I'll kick his ass. And then you started trumping. Ow,
Yes.
ow, 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 ow,
Ooh, muscle. I pulled.
Ow,
I stressed. I flexed too hard.
ow, ow.
Why does my butt hurt?
yeah, that's that was a good night. That was fun.
I find if you buy some of these college students beers, they become your best friend.
Absolutely.
Oh,
yeah, because I think
Oh, they would freak out.
There were some guys there that I was kind of fucking with a little bit. I don't, but I remember.
Imagine that.
Well, I mean, it wasn't a kind of a playful way, but then I want to say they almost got irritated. I was like, look, let me buy you a couple beers. That's not what I meant. and bought them a couple beers. Next thing you know, they're all chummy and having a good time.
Yeah, this guy's an asshole, but he buys his beer.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So I was kind of like, fuck it, I don't care. I'll just buy beers.
Yeah,
That's,
just walk in and go, listen, you all going to hate me, but I'm going to buy all your drinks, so it's fine.
That's way better than a swollen face.
Yeah.
Light
no
on.
shit.
Speaking of swollen face, did you guys see that video? One of us circulated it
I don't
of
wanna hear
that young man that they were doing some car racing and
No, they were doing the intersection shutdown
The what?
where they do
Yeah.
they spin the cars and they weren't racing. They were just
Well, they were-
No, I don't.
doing-
I
They
didn't
do
see
that in
this.
Vegas too. They
Well,
just do.
they call it a takeover. They
well,
call
they,
it a
they
yeah,
basically had the cars that were doing donuts,
right.
and the car that was doing the donut hit another car, and the guy gets out of the
Oh,
car.
I sent you that.
And
yes.
he was upset.
Awful.
He was like, "Hey, man, what's up?" And they beat him.
They may have killed him. Do you know the story on it?
I don't know.
Oh,
I mean, he
Follow-up.
was completely unconscious, and they were just kicking him and hitting him and making fun of him.
smashing his head, and he was
Oh,
just
yeah.
laying there bloody.
He could have been killed. I have no idea.
So
It-
it was
it
the guy
was
that was
ruthless.
doing the donuts got the shit kicked out of
No,
him, or they
no.
kicked the
Guy
shit out of the
that-
guy that he hit.
it was like
He hit him.
it was like one of us driving through at the wrong time and got hit. Got out, and the guy was like, "Hey," and they just
Jumped him.
jumped his ass and beat the shit out of him.
Yeah,
And at the very end,
It was all tribal. Look, honestly, I'm gonna catch shit for this, but I don't care. All angry and tribal, jumping around like a bunch of fucking maniacs, and thinking and laughing and this and end that. Look, all videotaping. Man,
It was
what
awful.
the
It was awful.
fuck is that shit all about? And you know what? You're seeing it more and more every day. It's
Yep.
disgusting. And I don't care what side of the race you're at. It's disgusting. White people doing it to black people, Mexicans. It doesn't fucking matter. What is going on with humanity where they think this is okay?
I know. I agree.
It's disgusting.
I'm seeing
and it's,
and that poor
example
guy,
after example after
that
example.
poor guy was beaten to a pulp.
He did nothing wrong.
no.
It makes me mad.
And
If
no,
I were
and no
there,
one, no one
I
stopped
think I would
anybody.
have. I would have killed people
Like,
if
no
that
one-
would have been. If I would have been there.
But my point is, no one even like said, "Okay, that's enough, guys. Like, leave him
No,
alone."
they
Or-
got their video out because the very last guy put a 5-gallon Home Depot bucket over his head
yeah, and then
and started taking pictures of him.
yeah, more laughing. Meanwhile,
guy
the
was
guy was
out.
like dead, or
Oh man, he was jacked up. He was jacked up, and people were just coming by and kicking him, and just
I don't get it. I don't get where the hate and the
it's
rage and
ruthless.
the anger.
It's this.
Well,
It's
I don't
this
get it.
campaign that's going on. It's this reparations campaign. I think is fueling it. I think Black Lives Matter has fueled it. I think it's just like right now they've got some sort of incident that happened in New York City on a subway
Yes.
where you had multiple people restraining some guy that was out of control and has a history of being out of control and was released a myriad of times from the health psych department.
He was in
from
he was in
issues.
the top 50 watch list
Yes,
in New York City.
top 50.
What's the
Top
point?
There's,
50.
there's 5 million
just
people.
watch him.
8 million people in New York.
Yeah,
Okay,
Fuck outta
and then
here.
this is the Marine.
the Marine killed
Yeah.
him. No,
It doesn't matter who
the
it
guy,
is. I mean-
the guy died. Yeah.
Yeah, he put him in a chokehold, and the
Yes.
guy ended up dying. And now they're going to charge him with murder.
Well,
No, they're going to attempt
that's what the people want. And now they're protesting in the subway, standing on the tracks.
Oh, standing on the
Send-
tracks and
yeah,
not
send
letting
the
people
subway
get
in.
out of
Boom.
the subway. It's just out of control, and there needs to be somebody of authority that needs to look. This all starts at the home. I mean,
know.
we've said this over and over. It's too late for these kids that are into their puberty. You know, it's too late to program those people. It's too late. They're lost in the system.
Right.
It'll be a miracle to turn their lives around. Sorry, that's the reality of it.
I don't disagree.
It's too and it's sad because it's wrong. You know, they weren't brought up the right way, and I don't want to throw stones at the Democrats for creating an environment for people to fail, for communities to fail.
Here's what makes me upset, though. I mean, a lot of times we discount things that happen, like in different parts of the United States or even the world, because we think, well, that there's something different about those are inner city or it's this or it's that. Well, look at the Frisco Fair.
Yeah, it just happened down the street.
Yeah, Frisco Fair. We had a bunch of thugs getting into fights. Some gunshots went off, and the Frisco police, like 25 police, had to show up and break up fights. And so they's like, fuck this. We're revoking your license. We're shutting the fair
Yeah,
down
you're
permanently. Done. It'll never come back.
Yep.
And I'm
They shut
okay
it
with
down
that.
early.
I don't even go to that.
And then when you see the videos, again, the same thing, the same type of people. And then, did you hear about the video of the fight in some ritzy Beverly Hills or Hollywood shopping center?
Mm-mm.
The fights breaking out and same kind of thing. They're all wearing nice clothes now.
Okay, right.
Nice clothes,
but it's all very tribal.
same type of
Everyone's
people.
having a good time and
Same
thinking it's
type of
fun.
people.
It's a party, and this is just part of the party. Fuck it. Fuck humanity. Fuck this person's humanity, whoever they are.
Right, and
They don't take it in the fact that that's somebody's child
right.
or somebody's father
It's,
or grandfather.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
I know.
It's absolutely disgusting. And I'm telling you, that layer of humanity needs to be euthanized.
wow, I don't
Wow.
know.
But it's the disease
I
of
don't-
social media, right?
I
because
agree
Oh, yeah.
with that.
because if you're not getting likes, right? If you're not being able to sit there and record this
I don't
and get
think
likes,
that's it.
I think it
oh,
is.
it
I
absolutely
think
is.
it's a big component of
It
it.
may be a big component of it, but I'll tell you what.
You're creating an entire generation of narcissists.
Look,
Yeah.
look at
Where-
me.
Yeah.
How many likes I got?
Everything is, oh, look what I did, whether it's illegal or just a little bit shady or just outright just, terrible.
Yeah,
But it's how many people can sit there and laugh at this or whatever. Ha ha. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
look
look
at how
at the-
many followers I have
look at the
because of this
TikTok
video
challenge,
that I
right?
post.
The TikTok challenge of people cold cocking old people just walking down the street.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
that is so they're wanting people to go, no way, oh my god, he knocked him out in one punch. They want people to react like that when they post their videos of them sucker punching old people and kill them in some cases.
They have.
I mean, back to your point about
Yeah.
the inhumanity. I mean, we have lost the value of life.
Well, it's
and
just-
we all know what the solution is.
Well, it's just like I think we talked about it a year ago, where it's not Philadelphia or New York, where the girl was getting raped on the subway.
Yep.
I think it was New
45
York.
minutes,
And people
there were
videoed
people were just sitting there videoing it instead
instead
of
of
helping.
intervening.
Yeah, in front of them on the ground, she was getting raped, and she was screaming for help. And I think all those people got charged as well.
I hope so.
Well-
I don't know what the outcome of it was, but that's what we're dealing with now.
Yeah.
And then when someone steps up like this guy did
The
the other
Marine.
day,
He
the
gets beaten
Marine,
down.
now he's like, you're going to get murder.
Yeah, they're charging him with murder.
Yeah.
Well, there's no morality, right? So if you so without being overly religious, if you don't have any rules to follow, right?
Right.
If there's no morality,
No
what's
moral compass.
what's your morality based off of,
But
right?
it needs to be religious because that I want for dudes like us to instill this directive in life, and that is that the community from the world, we need more God in our lives. And,
Absolutely.
And if God is instilled in our lives, we won't have these issues. And that is what's going on. God is a joke.
Well,
currently.
they continue to take it out of
They do.
everything,
Yeah.
right?
and there's a reason for that.
And
Correct.
it was kind of interesting. So, if you ever listen to Glenn Beck, he went over a big segment of this, and so it's just the way that it's all coming out, and just the evils that keep on proliferating. But it's as they continue to remove all of this, it just keeps getting worse because if you don't have rules, then you don't care, and then it just continues to evolve into worse and worse things.
I mean, it's like, yeah, we don't even have a basic code of conduct anymore. We have nothing. There's no, like you
No.
said, a set of values, code of conduct, the value of life, the value of other people. I mean, just
Well, even look. You brought up where we live. You know, we always talk about the Frisco bubble and how the kids are very privileged here, right?
yeah,
And remember last year or 2 years ago, one of the high schools, a senior prank.
yeah. Reed,
Yeah.
Reedy.
No, it wasn't Reedy.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
With the fire
the
extinguishers.
fire extinguishers, and it got out of control, and they did tens of thousands of dollars of damage.
Yeah.
And the footage of that was a bunch of kids going crazy. And it was like, just like our kids, but they got mixed up in it, and it got stupid. They didn't go, hey, this isn't right.
Right.
Right? Something clicked in them, and they went stupid.
Right.
And
they went stupid.
Yeah, they did. And,
well,
that principal's gone because she couldn't control it, or he, or I don't know who it was. And they've had a major turnover there.
Right.
We'll see if it happens, but then that's here.
Yeah,
where we live.
That's what made me very disheartened, because I was, people always say, well, that can't happen here.
I'm sure it can.
And like that fair thing, I was like, man, if we're watching videos of thugs getting into fights and showing guns and firing guns, and that's happening in Frisco, I was like, we're in big trouble.
Well, what if you were there with your wife?
Right.
When that happened, what would you have done?
Get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
I mean, as a matter of fact, we went to the fair. We went to the state fair.
So who wants to go to the state fair now?
Right. We went to the state fair, and I guess we had Dylan, and I was pushing Dawson in a stroller. All right. So Brody wasn't even born yet. Right. But we were pushing him in a stroller. And I had, here's what happened. I took, they have the little kiddie rides, right? I went over to a kiddie ride with Dylan, and Shelly was standing over there with the stroller, right? And then all of a sudden there's this gang of boys that were running through the fair, like running, and then these cops were chasing them. And the crowd was getting moved around, and Shelly got pinned against, these movable barricades. She got pinned against it with the stroller, scared the shit out of her, and made me mad. You know what I mean? And yeah, as a family, we've never gone back.
No, and it's not worth it.
It's not, yeah.
It's not worth it, because you don't want to expose your kids to that kind of thing. You don't want your kids to be hurt.
And it's dangerous. No. Yeah, it's just flat dangerous. There's too much unpredictable shit that goes on.
And that's sad, because it's going to happen systematically through every
can get worse
annual
and worse
event. I mean,
worse.
look, there are things that I'll bring up. Downtown McKinney, how they have downtown McKinney, Texas, is an old school, old Western town. It's kind of like old school, maybe not Western, but it's old school, early 50s kind of style.
Looks like
there.
an older small town downtown.
Yeah,
cool.
it's what you kind of like to see. It's this old school kind of shit. So they were shutting down the whole block during these special events that they have going on, which they do several times a year, which is unique.
Yeah.
And it's a huge camaraderie kind of a good feel program they got going on. Well, in the last couple of years, they've had to increase security, because there are people that are just ugly.
Right.
From the core out. And they go in there, and they're on drugs, heroin, whatever it is, and you can know who they are because you can see it. They usually have no shirt on, skinny,
Right.
Get a methy.
Kind of methy, and and it's just like that. I remember 2 years in a row where there's these guys that are walking, and they've got like 2 or 3 cops that are just trailing them the whole way.
Because they were going to do something.
Literally 10 feet behind them, and they're making them walk the whole distance. And the guy's fumed, talking to himself, and talking to the air,
right.
and he's not doing anything, but yet he's feeling intimidated, and he's talking to people, and that's not there, and he just walks right through, and then
mental
out the
illness,
gates.
Man,
it is mental illness. It's a compilation of things, and this goes on for lots of things. We have tons of homeless people. California has tons of issues with homeless people, and they're trying to. Where do we pin it? What do we do? How do we correct this? It's too late to correct those people. It's too late. You can't. All you can do now is rehab them to a point where they can at least function,
right,
and provide a service moving forward. But you got to reprogram that brain, and in order to do that, you cannot be handing out
money.
You cannot be hanging out fucking gas pipes to be smoking pot or meth and all that other shit that they're doing.
Biden did that. He mailed out crack pipes.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Sent them out.
Well, so what's even worse on that front is, again, I had a friend go to San Francisco. I refused to go to the People's Republic of California. But it was one of his bucket list things, right?
Yeah.
And so he gets there and he flies in, and they literally have an app for the city that shows you needles and defecation.
Of where you can go.
To shit on the street?
Not to where, but where it is.
Oh, so that you can avoid it.
So that you could try to avoid it. But it's like
Everywhere.
a huge percentage
Well, the Tenderloin is really bad.
of the streets, right? But it's so that you could try to avoid.
The mess.
But it's no shit, just used needles and shit on the street, right? And it's not just like a used needle here or there. It's like droves of needles that have been used because they
With no caps on them, so they're just needles sticking up everywhere.
they're used.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because
Oh
they
my
give
God.
them out. Because they're like, well, we want them to not be sharing needles, so we provide needles.
Oh, now it's
Because
just,
that's safer, right? And so now they just have this proliferation of used needles. And then there's people that just sit there and in front of nice restaurants with maybe an open view and shit. And they're just like, oh, I got to go to the bathroom, and just freaking whip down their pants and take a shit right there
or
on the
they're just
sidewalk.
sitting there on the sidewalk with a needle hanging out of their arm.
And there's zero repercussions for it, right? Because that's just
That's
the way
what I
that they
said.
do
When
business.
you're in New York, bucket list, you should have just gone downstairs and shit on the street.
I did. It was wonderful. You know, that's what I think is getting lost in all of this, is how refreshing it is.
How freeing.
Freeing and liberating. And
It's like,
and
I got to shit, I'm doing it right here.
yes.
Yeah.
I mean, what was even better? I was struggling with getting it clean, but there was a pole right there. And I was just kind of, butt grinding.
You kind of drag yourself like a dog on the
I
cement.
did it first, and it started a rash immediately.
Oh Lord, that's why you got to grab a cat or a squirrel or something.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
think of that.
Some
And
weed.
I was
didn't
a
think
little-
of that.
A
I was a
rabbit
little
fur is very
gun-shy.
soft.
Smart.
I was a little gun shy. So when I went to
With
Saudi,
the rabbit fur.
I sat there and we had what we call the thrones, because the shitters there, when we first got into Tent City there, you had to step up steps. So if anybody was going by and they had like little 6-inch dividers between the stalls, and that was it.
Sure.
So, but as you're walking by, your head is crotch level.
Oh,
Right? So it's platformed up. So everybody, it didn't matter. It was like the newspapers or whatever that they had were all gone, because everybody would just sit there and whip out a newspaper, so at least you could cover up your junk and weren't flashing everybody that was walking by.
that's just not right.
So I can't imagine just the absolute, thought process of just being able to just drop trout and drop a deuce on there, and then just you're not wiping, you're not doing anything, you're just taking it back up.
Your
It's
ass
not-
has to be well calloused or something.
or your diet is dog style, so that you're just dropping out hard shits that's not
Pellet.
leaving nothing. I don't know how that works, so I'm not a.
That is
privy to it.
interesting because I mean, think about like
They don't have wet
growing
wipes.
up in the just whatever a couple 100 years ago in the old Western or even the medieval times. I mean, you drop a deuce. I mean, there's going to be some residual there. How did they take care of that? Leaves?
Yeah, dirt, leaves, and I think you just
What
kind
did you
of
say?
lived.
Dirt?
I
Well,
told you the
rocks.
story when I was on my elk trip and they shut the freeway down.
Do they
and I
do
took a
that?
shit in the ditch.
Oh Lord!
You threw
Well-
a bunch of pebbles up there.
I did the butt scooch again, right? I mean,
In the snow.
no,
I-
actually there was no snow. I
will tell
had-
you, in Turkey,
I had wipes.
I thought they shut it down because of the snow.
I had wipes with me.
so in Turkey they give you a few squares,
Oh, nice.
and they're
like
like,
of toilet paper.
yeah. But what they tell you is this is for wiping. This is why you don't shake hands
Ugh.
in Muslim countries.
Ugh.
This is for wiping. This is for cleaning your fingers.
Mm.
So you wipe, and then you take that and you clean off of your hand, and you go.
Mm.
And there's no water to wash your fingers.
There's no bidet. There's
no,
no
like a sink, so you can
no
do this.
no, dude. Yeah, no.
Maybe a long time ago.
No.
Maybe a long time ago, because surely they're not like that uncivilized now.
this was in the 90s, late 90s.
Yeah.
So did you take on this habit?
No, no.
You didn't adopt
No.
Oh,
it?
you didn't find that appetizing? Or
No.
appealing?
So this is where you learn to hold,
You're like, oh,
your
this is
shit.
the way I want to live my life.
Right.
literally hold your shit. Literally,
I'd bring
Yeah.
like a packet of wet wipes with me.
Well,
that late 90s. Who had wet wipes?
No
You
one had
stealing
wet
that from
wipes.
This is
babies?
true.
They hadn't invented
No.
those.
You know what I'm saying?
I
I
would
would
have.
That was it.
I would totally
Back
take
then, I'd be
those
like,
Pampers.
babies, hey, it's good for their ass. It's good for mine.
Yeah. It's one of those things that you learn when you're down there. It's not that you knew. It's not that they're briefing you this shit. You know what I'm saying? So you go downtown and it's like, yeah, this is the world you're living in, and you're like,
They don't have public pools.
they do, oddly enough.
You don't want to
Yes,
swim in
but,
those.
That's what they call bathhouses, right?
That's what was so crazy living in Jakarta. The canals, like on either side of the street, were just open sewers.
Same
So
way
the
in
houses,
Korea.
yeah. So the houses would, they had plumbing, but it would just dump into these canals on either side of the street.
Yep.
Just
Would
open
it
sewers.
smell?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing with Korea. We called them Benjo ditches.
You just get used to the wrench.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, it was bad. I mean, we used to tell the funny story about this, a lot of expatriates there, right? There was this guy that had just arrived from like the United States or something, and he gets out of the cab and he stumbled and fell into the canal.
Oh Jesus.
And then he gets out of the canal and he gets back
Hep C.
he gets back into a cab and tells him, please take me to the hospital.
Yeah.
I think it was one of my father's coworkers.
Be like, yeah, I just got Hep C.
Yeah, he was like,
amongst other
yeah,
things.
he was like, take me immediately to the hospital.
God.
Yeah.
How would you fall into a shit stream?
Was he drunk?
No.
No.
So
It's
they
tight.
are-
Everything's tight.
so you have the street, and then it starts sloping off straight into the shit ditches.
Well, and I mean,
that's how it is in Korea.
and it's extremely narrow streets. I mean, there's like
Yeah.
hardly anywhere to walk. I mean, people are. I mean, it's
But
just-
it's the volume of rainwater that needs to be captured, and that's why it's probably sloped like that to clean the
I
irrigation.
guess. Thank God in that country there's monsoon season, because where else is the shit going to go if it weren't for that?
That's the
Yeah, it's bad.
that's the double flush when that thing.
Where is this
monsoon- Jakarta.
Yeah, Jakarta. I lived there for 5 years.
It's also all over Korea. If you just look up Benjo
It's
ditches.
Southeast Asia for sure.
Yeah, Benjo ditches.
Benjo.
Yeah, Benjo, ditch,
ditches.
Korea.
There you go.
There you go. But depending on where you are, they're not exactly concreted over. They're usually grass.
Like that.
So it's just nastiness. It's
Yeah,
just straight nasty.
absolutely.
But we've had, because you go and you get absolutely wrecked doing ammo bowls. So ammo bowl, they sit there and they take soju, and they take an entire bottle of soju and dump it in a bowl, and then they take a 2 liter of
Just a rice-based
Yeah.
spirit,
yeah, but unregulated. So you could get
right?
one that does absolutely nothing. It's like drinking water, and you could get one that a quarter of the way through and you're done.
Yeah. So it's an
Hammered.
unpredictable evening every time you go out.
Yeah. So they take that, they put it in a big bowl. They put the entire bottle of soju and then a 2 liter of 7-Up, and they take an entire box of straws, and then all of the assholes take as many straws as you can fit in your mouth, and you just start sucking out all of the liquid. Yeah,
Oh.
and you try to finish it as quick as you can, and you have ammo bowl races.
Wow.
And then you shit in the ditch.
And then you fall into a ditch.
And then you are hammered and fall into the shit ditch.
the Benjo ditches.
yeah, that doesn't have a lot of appeal to it.
No.
No?
Well, there's one right there, I think, right on the side of the street.
Yeah, so they're not
There's carp that live in that.
they're not that clean. So this is in a no
Oh, Japan is very clean.
Yeah, so this is a drainage, and no, this isn't a Benjo ditch. So think of anything that you have here that is for rainwater drainage, that's grass off of the side of the road on some of the tight back roads, and just fill that with shit instead of water. And that's a Benjo ditch.
I mean, one thing that was crazy when we lived in Jakarta is how there would be like kind of nice areas and then a slum, and then a nice area and then a slum, and then a nice neighborhood and then a slum, right? And the slums were like slum.
Oh.
And so we would go over right outside of our subdivision. We had this little river, and you would see there's like a little shanty town right on the side of the river on either side of the bridge, and you would see, these women like washing clothes in the river, which was like a solid brown, right? Solid brown, like opaque.
Yeah.
And they'd be washing clothes, and then you look up the river, and there's a dude taking
Squat.
a shit,
Yep.
squatting over the river, just taking a dump right there,
Like 10 feet in front up.
maybe 30 feet upstream from where they're washing the clothes.
Yeah. That
That was absolutely regular occurrence.
That's
How come
some
they
of
don't
the
have
most.
like Hep C?
They probably do.
Oh, their life expectancy, at least back when I was living there, was like 60 tops, 50 tops.
That's old.
Yes, because they get all sorts of. There's no clean water. There's no, they get all sorts of shit and die.
Yeah. So I went to Thailand for a month, and it was awesome. So as a coalition exercise, so we were flying with the Thai folks there, and so we're in Karat, Thailand, and we're like, all right, so we're like, okay, we know it's late '90s, right? Let's go get some bootleg games or DVDs or this, that, and the other. So we're like, hey, we talked to the tuk-tuk driver, and we're like, where's this at? And so he takes us and drops us off. And we have to walk down and walk through this whole village. It's all like the tin.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Right.
The corrugated tin roofs,
The corrugated tin.
all rusted out and
And
hanging
then-
on by a thread.
Boards that are over running water and everything. And so as we're going, we'll see a pig stall where they have pigs hung up, and then they're gutting pigs, and they just have a giant pile. And then the next stall is dog, and you'll see dogs hung up in various states of skinned, not skinned, completely gutted, this, that, and the other, broken down for sale.
What is the preferred dog?
Gross.
There isn't.
Much.
So it just, but depending on what you order there, right? So everybody knows that, hey, you get Kagogi or whatever here, or what is the terminology? I'm trying to remember again. But there's a certain one that you get. So there's beef and then there's dog that you can get. And I'm sure that at some point while I was there, I ate dog. But that's
know
more.
it, yeah.
That's more. Korea is the Kagogi or whatever. But Thailand, it was crazy, and they'd have no kidding, like foot and a half pile of just entrails, and you wouldn't know it because it was black, right? And then they'd sit there and they'd be cutting something off, and they'd throw it on the pile, and then you'd see that it was flies because as it hit, then all of the black would just move off, and then just go right back onto the pile of just
gosh.
whatever.
God.
So we're walking through this whole place, and you just see it's just absolute squalor at a level that,
Yep.
as Americans, we have no idea
No
what
idea.
that is. And it's one of those things. It's just like, holy crap, are we blessed? Because this is literally where they're living. It's like stalls on this side, and then it's houses on this side, and there's no difference, right?
No.
So it's mud. They're on the tin, corrugated tin, boards crossing the little crap. I don't know what was in the water. Smelled terrible, but just
It was eye-opening, man.
absolutely. That's
That's
why.
why I think some of these people who complain, who say the U.S. is terrible and
No concept, man.
no concept of what's out
They
there.
don't. They have no idea. They really don't.
The privilege and the
And it's not white privilege.
No, it's not. It's just
United
US.
States American citizen privilege.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
and the level of life they have here compared to a lot of these places.
Is not even. There's no comparison.
Yeah,
In most cases.
that's why people want to come here.
Yes. That's right.
And you interview those people that want to come here. Oh, we want to come here because America's great.
Yep.
There's opportunity. There's no Benjo ditches, But you look at the college white liberal. We're the worst fucking country in the world.
Yep.
Need to be disbanded.
Yep.
We need to move to socialism, communism. We suck. Did you see the new recommendation for reparations in California?
Yeah. 200 million per person.
$200 million.
Yeah, but they're not going to
Retarded.
pay that. They want to give that in tax discounts in a house.
It shouldn't matter.
Shouldn't have.
We were
It's-
talking about this earlier.
Yeah.
I was like, if you take any reparations money, right, doesn't matter what it is, then you have to claim a country of origin from where your ancestors were taken from, and that's where you have to move. You are no longer a U.S. citizen.
Agreed with that. And, but there's so many flip sides of that coin, because first of all, there are people, the taxes that pay for those reparations. People have to pay those taxes.
I
why are the people that weren't here at the time? I didn't own any slaves.
I
In fact,
can't
my
believe
family
it's
wasn't
even
here.
gotten this far. Like, I can't believe it's not even rational.
Well, it's got this far in California.
Right. Yeah, but I mean, other states are starting to talk about it.
Look, there are things that are going on
Because
that
they
are
want
all
votes.
over the planet that are creepy. I mean, just like we were talking about earlier, a lady praying across the street from an abortion clinic. Not even praying out loud, just standing there.
And they asked her, "Are you praying?" And
Yeah,
she said,
and
"Yeah."
take her to jail. That to me it's just outright. That's socialism. That's fascism.
Well,
Absolutely.
I watched a video
You know-
today that a guy was being interviewed, and he goes, he was name was said. He goes, 100 people have been arrested in Russia for things they have posted on social media. Arrested,
Wow.
and he's like, here in Great Britain, what do you think that number is? The guy's like, I don't know. He goes, 3,400 people in Great Britain have been arrested
For what they posted.
for what they posted on social media.
One of them being misgendering, not using the proper pronouns for for some transvestite on the
See,
site.
but depending on what that is, so that's another one of those things that it's like they don't ever go into any of the detail, right? So, like, hey, this dude is posting child porn. Sure, fucking arrest that dude.
Right.
Shoot him in the head. I don't care.
No,
Right.
this is stuff that.
But if you're just like saying something and somebody's taking offense to it, or
Yeah.
you're saying, "Oh, there's only two genders," and somebody's like, "Oh my God, you just
Yeah.
disintegrated my life," it's like, and that dude's getting arrested.
Yes.
It's like that's just ass.
Yes,
right?
what
So-
the example this guy gave was there's a lady whose either boyfriend or husband died, and she made a post on Instagram or Twitter quoting his favorite song, and it happened to be a rap song, and those lyrics had a couple of N-words in it.
Okay.
They came to her house, arrested her, charged her, put her on like 800 hours of community service. She's on
In Britain,
in Britain, and she's on a hate list now
because she spelled out the N word.
because she copy and pasted rap song lyrics that are played on the radio onto social media.
Mm.
And remember, it's her
It's
boyfriend.
out of control, and
Out of control.
they're trying to do the same thing here in the United States. Slowly but surely, they're trying to do it. It's coming. It's coming all around us, and just the fact that we had local elections just now for the school board, and I mean, did Kershaw win? Did Reed win?
No, they lost.
Both.
Both of them did.
I
not
can't.
good, man.
I can't believe that. Everybody I talked to was like, "Are you voting for them?" Yeah. In every circle that cared about this election.
It was,
Amazing.
I think either Reed went against Davis. He had 44 and she had 56. And then the other one was just as close, right? So it's close, but still, that's 12 points. Still a pretty big win.
Yeah, it is.
Man, it really. You think, how did it happen? Do you think that's that people are ignorant? They didn't know?
It's the incumbents.
Well, no, it's long game, right? Conservatives didn't give a shit for the longest time.
Right. And now suddenly
So
they're trying to care.
Liberals took over all of the institutions that developed children,
They infiltrated.
that did
Correct.
anything, right? Because all conservatives wanted to do was have free enterprise and grow businesses, because conservatives by nature are entrepreneurial, right? So that's what they were doing. They were worried about building up businesses, creating society, and bettering lives, right?
Yeah.
So they sit there and they were like, okay, well, I'm not going to get involved in anything education school boards. I'm not going to get involved in local elections. I'm not going to, all of the small stuff that ends up making huge impacts,
Right.
right? So that's not where they were at. They were worried about just building and making better lives and continuing on. So that long game sat there and has screwed us.
Yeah.
I think that's come
True.
to. I think this whole COVID thing has opened the eyes of a lot of people. And I think a lot of it started with the school, because a lot of the parents saw what was being taught, and I think that opened the eyes of a lot of stuff. So the school boards, I think people are starting to change now, and I think the conservative side are starting to grab some of this back. It's going to take a long time,
It's going to take a while.
but it's starting to happen.
And you're right. Let me add to your comment, Chad. They also generally conservatives, they're in families, they have jobs, they're just trying to get through their week, right? I mean, they're trying to focus on their job and their kids, and they got sporting events they got to go to, and they don't really give a shit. I mean, they made the mistake. They made the mistake of thinking, that's being taken care of. Like, I don't need to worry about that. Like, nobody even votes in local elections, right? It's some crazy low number.
Yeah.
I think you're kind of generalizing, though, because here in Frisco, there's a lot of Democrats. They're all working families, just like we are.
Well, I wouldn't say that they're not
That's a good
working
point.
families. It's the building, right? Being an entrepreneur. And it's not to say that it's a blanket. It's just saying that more of the Democrats were doing teachers, were being on school boards, were being on the low-level stuff and long gaming, everything.
It's ground root activists.
Correct.
Activism.
Right.
Well, guys,
They
we
have
need
played that game way better than
We need to wrap this
conservatives.
up. Chad, I want to say thank you for coming out. This
And
is
thank you for
awesome. Hope
having
you
me.
enjoyed yourself.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but
Good.
dudes like us, it is May 9th. We had a kick-ass time.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was
And
good.
Even though the Green River wasn't up
wasn't
to
a
where I
huge hit.
wanted it to be,
It wasn't a huge hit. I mean, it's better than Old Williamsburg.
Yeah. Dudes like
is
us,
true.
I'm Sean.
I'm Paul.
And I'm Jeff.
And I'm Chad.
There you go.
Peace out.